All right, so Little Stitches looks like you were the only contributor listed. Were you a
Oh
solo
well.
dev?
Well, I had my friend working it with me. He did the art and music. I did the programming and game design.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I have the Discord up still. So let me minimize that. Alrighty. So, you did the. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. You did the programming and they did the
Yeah,
art.
Ko- Kobemano did the programming and just the game making,
Okay.
and Paul, my friend, did the art and music.
Cool. 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 So like, how did you get your team together? Did you just hear about it through Donkey's thing? Did you hear about it through a friend, and then you just like called up your friend that you know, or like did you both hear about it and wanted to participate?
Yeah, we both heard about it. We worked on a game jam at the start of the year. I've done like quite a few game jams this year,
Nice.
and we've worked on like one or two before.
Okay.
He normally he just does the art and music
All right.
because I'm just a programmer also.
Just a programmer. Yes. So like, what was your idea process when you came up with Little Stitches? I'm gonna go ahead and read your description. The girl shrinks and grows in game, which leads to two modes: a small mode where you're tiny and have to sew fabrics together to make stuff, and a big mode where you grow and have to perform in a fashion show by posing. Mode is also French for fashion. Okay.
Well, the process was I was just trying to think of a couple ideas, that fit with mode.
Mm-hmm.
My initial idea was like a couple people have already made it, but like a Tetris where you switch modes.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, we just played
uh
Tetro Jump. I don't know if you played that one.
n-
It's like a Tetris platformer. Like you switch between platforming mode and like Tetris block mode, where you play Tetris to make platforms. Yeah.
yeah. So my original idea was just doing mode with that, but Core, the artist, he thought of mode as in like the fashion sort of, because in French it means fashion.
Mm.
Uh, and he's an artist who likes fashion stuff, so you want to do somewhat fashion. And we were actually going to make a strictly fashion game, but then I thought of like a different idea for mode where you like switch between two states, one where you're big, as in like big mode. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
what the thing is called, big mode.
Right. Yeah.
And small mode where you like shrink down, and there's a story element to it where you're shrinking and growing, and then that changes like the gameplay modes per se, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah. Uh, I think a lot of us had trouble with the theme because like mode is so fucking nebulous, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and like I, and especially if you're trying to come at it from like a unique angle, um, I think mode being French for fashion. I don't think there's many of them that do that specific concept here, but like I think a lot of the puns have been done, like a lot of a la mode games, a lot of mode as in like lawn mowing. Uh,
Yeah.
so like finding a unique angle is definitely a challenge. Um, so you've heard about this with your friend. You got together, decided to do the game jam. You've done a lot of them, and like, did you find out like as soon as the thing was announced,
For the thing?
or the game jam? Like, yeah, like as soon as it was announced, you heard about it and then started working on it, or did you hear about it in the middle, or like?
Oh, no, no, no. I started like the very moment. Well, actually, I was at the zoo the day it came out, but I
Mm,
got home the very like minute that the theme was released.
nice, cool.
So I
So,
was
uh,
had that zoo brain in me.
Zoo
That
Brain,
makes sense.
yeah, like a bunch of things just like being on display. You're just like, that's kind of like fashion. Bunch of patterned
Well, this
creatures.
was it took me like 3 or 4 days to actually think of uh, what to do with mode.
Okay, so
For the first 3 days, I was stuck on like I was wholly focused on doing a Tetris mode thing, but then I
mm. So did you have to
switched
change
out.
gears in terms of like, did you start coding Tetris and then you switched gears, or?
Yeah, I followed like there's a pretty neat Godot Tetris tutorial on the internet. If someone wants to follow that tutorial that I followed. Um,
Mm. I'm
but then
certain that at
afterwards I
least
was
one
like, it's
person
just
out.
Tetris.
Right. I'm sure at least one other person in the game jam has followed the exact same one, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so, uh, it's funny. Like you're not the only person who's told me that you had to switch gears entirely in the middle of the game jam. The other one was Dave the Game. They told me that they had to switch gears like a weekend and then like redo it all from the ground up. Uh, Assuming that they did do that and that they completed the rest of the game, which is very massive, like very impressive. Having to switch gears is daunting. So, because it's like you lost all that time, right?
Yeah. Well, it was only like 3 or 4 days, but
I mean, for me,
still,
that's a long time because
yeah.
I've mentioned it a few times, but when I was working on Teleco 20XX, I was literally working like 100 hours a week. Like I logged it. Eventually, I stopped logging it because I was like, I can't spend any more time outside of game developing to just like stop and log something. It was that kind of
Right.
crunch because like this whole thing is crunch. Like all game jams are just, hey, you want to jump into a crunch cycle like immediately.
Yeah. I've actually done I've recorded it. I've done 6 game jams this year, so I'm pretty.
Holy
This
shit.
was my latest one. So I'm pretty with a relaxed game jam cycle. My first game jam at the start of the year, that was like 100-hour weeks. But now I'm solely focused on just making a like simple gameplay loop and just
Okay.
working on
Okay,
like
so
trying.
you found a way out of the crunch cycle where you're just like, I'm just gonna you found a way to scope responsibly. You know what you're capable of doing, and then you just go at it like easygoing.
Yeah.
Cool. Cyberwitch72 asks, did you jump right into crunch on the first week? For me personally, I actually tried to do a similar thing. I tried to take it easy. I was still going to the gym and like cooking my own food and like taking time to shower and relax and everything. But about a week into it, I was just like, no, I have to crunch. It's over. Like, and then I massively switched gears. But it doesn't sound like you
Yeah,
had
and
that
then when
problem.
you're in the game, because I was in the game like at the start of the year, I would just go into game jam like dev crunch cycle, and you're just in that cycle, and you're like, you wake up, you do dev all day, and then you go to sleep, and you just dream about the fucking. You
Yeah,
dream of, I can swear, sorry. You just dream about just programming and all of that
yeah,
throughout the night.
man. And then you, I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, no, I agree. Um, the worst that I get is that I have to stop showering a bit, and that's when I'm at my darkest. I'm just like, oh, yep. I want to spend an hour doing this thing to maintain my basic sanity. So I don't. Shade11 says, did anyone contemplate putting Skibbity Toilet in their game? I don't know if Gen Alpha is currently making games, but we'll see. Cyberwitch says, I spent the first 60% of the jam just trying to think of what I was going to make, and if I even wanted to make one. Yeah, so there's been a lot of like, there's been a wide gamut of people just like at different effort levels, I guess. Personally, I take things very intensely, so, but I'm very glad that you have been able to keep within scope and like you know what you're capable of.
Yeah. The first couple game jams I did this year, I was just overscoping. They were just buggy messes.
Uh,
And then I did a game jam the week that Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and I was
oh
I
no.
was doing and that's sort of when I realized like I can put less time in and it'll be less buggy probably. But that game when Baldur's Gate 3 came out was it was a functional game, but it just didn't have much depth
Okay.
because I spent all the time playing that game.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't need to. They're game jams, right? Shade11 here. Actually, I don't remember who Shade11. I think Shade11 you might have mentioned like Baldur's Gate 3 is worth it, right? Just like whether or not like it matters if the game is very deep or good or like polished or anything. It's just like no, dude, just call it a jam. Like, do you think musicians sit down
That's
and then compose, you know, uh, compose the greatest things they've ever done immediately in a jam? It's very rare. Did you win any of this? Yeah, like how did you place in those 6 jams, by the way?
pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Well, one of them I tied first, but there was only like
You tied first.
25. Yeah, it was a freeway tie for first, but that one there was only like 25 entries, but
Okay.
I came first and won. It was a simulation game jam, and I made some tabs clone.
Tabs clone. I wouldn't know what that is.
What Tabs is Total Accurate Battle Simulator. It's just a game on Steam.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. That's interesting. I mean,
I just made a clone
cool.
of that.
Like that's a pretty complex game, I think, or it can be, I guess. So making a clone of that is pretty cool. I was listening to this YouTuber talking about like how to survive as a game developer, particularly in solo development. And literally, the advice that they give is just like, hey, if something popular comes out, just make a clone of it. Put your own spin on it. It doesn't need to be that drastic or dramatic or anything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And people who are done with that game will have an itch to scratch, and they'll come to you for it. Like it feels wrong from a creative standpoint, but I don't really place that much stock in it. Like that's not how I choose to do things. I try to make things like kind of out there, and like I try to break the mold a little bit. But there's no shame in like not reinventing the wheel, right? So making a clone of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, that's intense, dude. And yeah, you Cyberwitch72 says you have proof that it's successful. So hell yeah. What else was I gonna say? Right. Did you have any personal challenges in the way of like developing for the game? Any technical issues that like plagued you?
For this one?
Yeah.
Not really for this one. I had real life issues.
I mean,
not technical issues.
Real life issues are valid too. Like literally, this came out. This game jam was announced at like possibly one of the worst times, right? Like, you got holidays coming up, you've got finals coming up, and like yeah, even right now we blew straight through Christmas and we're going into New Year's. Like I had to stop streaming in the days surrounding Christmas because like nobody was just nobody was showing up. Like, and I didn't want to just like spin my wheels doing nothing for those days because I also had people that I was talking with, but yeah, I also had personal stuff come up. If you don't want to let on, that's also fine. But yeah, like one of the reasons that I want to showcase indie developers that are literally just I mean, forgive me for saying so, but we're all kind of no name, I would imagine. Some of the people that came in here have been not no name, or at least relatively speaking. If you're a fan of Donkey, you probably have seen the May Guilty Gear mod for Super Mario 64. Because he had a video about that. Do you remember that one? No. Okay. Well, he made a whole video because he was playing Guilty Gear as May and doing the annoying dolphin strats. So he started streaming Super Mario 64 with the Totsugeki May Guilty Gear mod, and one of the developers of one of the lawn mowing games didn't even know PS was doing a jam. Wait, what's PS? One of the developers.
Pirate Software.
Oh, Pirate Software. Sorry, yeah. I'm a little bit of a smooth brain in many ways. I can be out of the loop sometimes, although I am culturally up to date with a lot of things. But anyway, yeah, like one of the developers here is partnered with the person who made that mod that Donkey streamed. So when they mentioned that, I was just like, dude, it feels like I've already met you. That's Asho, by the way. Axolion, they're in the Discord. They're really cool. And then like another one of the developers works on the Calamity mod for Terraria, which is like one of the biggest Terraria mods. Oh, yeah, I was playing their game, Split Screen. If you've seen Split Screen, that's made by them. Cyberwitch says, do you guys know Derek Yu? I liked what he said about how to know if your games have appeal. I will bookmark that mentally for later. But yeah, I just wanted to like give smaller creators a chance to talk about their games because I think a lot of us have a lot of things to say about it, but like nobody's really asking us. So I've definitely fallen into the groove of just like, hey, like how did your game development go? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and at least press run game. Do you have a download for this actually, or?
No.
No download. Gotcha.
No, it's only web.
Okay.
Only web build.
Nice. Okay, while the remainder of this loads, let's see how to play, settings, credits. Let's go ahead and look at these credits. Game made by.
Oh well, I ran out of time for the credits. It's just.
Links
I
in the
was gonna put
description.
more stuff in there. Yeah, I ran out of time for credits. how to play, except for the in-game stuff.
Nah, dude, it's cool. I don't know how you coordinate with your team, which is just you two, of course. But like, I set up a Discord even though it was only 3 of us, and I was constantly coordinating with them, and I was asking them over and over, like, how do you want to be credited? You got to think about how you want to be credited, and neither of them could fucking decide the whole time. And finally, on the last couple days, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to pick credit names for you, you sons of bitches, and like, you will accept what I give you. So,
Yeah, I actually sort of had that problem also because Core, he's like a part of a big YouTube channel called Spilling the Milk, but he didn't. I
Oh.
didn't what he didn't really want to put that in. But then I was like, I'll just put your Twitter in, which is what I did, which I thought was good enough. And he was like, I don't use my Twitter, so it's just like that situation also.
Yeah,
Because
settings
his
awesome.
YouTube channel is just a reaction channel. It's not art or anything. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, it's very common in the creative space to just have a million handles, right? I was talking about this with one of the other developers. It's just like, yeah, I have like a dozen emails under various aliases, and all of us think like, one of these will stick one day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do have a settings page. This is sorry, I was reading your
Oh yeah.
comment. Yeah, this is just a oh yeah, if you click on the girl, she does like a little movement thing.
It's really cute.
Yeah, this is just a basic menu setup I made in Godot for like all my game jams. So I just have a basic menu,
Nice.
pause menu, main menu in all of my game jam games.
Yeah. Pause menus are a thing that I feel like a lot of people have really shunted to the sidelines, right? But yeah, I personally I made my game so small that I didn't need one. So I kind of shirked the responsibility of making one. But let me see here. So how to play. Move with WASD or arrows, hold left click or space. Encircle items, complete orders, complex shapes may not work. You'll switch to a big mode where you do poses with WASD or arrows.
It explains it in the actual game probably better, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that sounds like something that's best experienced firsthand. I return to Monkey when making games. Yeah. Yeah, like, I told the story a lot by now, but like, about a weekend, I'm just like, this game is not going to get finished if I don't make the spaghetti code, so I'm just gonna have to do that. Let's see. Okay, I guess we will play. Move with WASD or arrows, hold left click or space to encircle items.
Yeah, so you got
Oh, I
an
have
order
to
up the
hold it.
top. Yeah, you hold either. You just,
Encircle by left click or space.
and then you let go to
Order 0 button. Does it actually need to close on itself, or is it just like good enough? Shit.
yeah, it's just good enough.
Cool.
Yeah.
Crowd
Oh,
wants
and
certain
then you
poses
change
with
to a big
WASD. You can just spam if you want. Up, up. Up, left. Oh, I see. Left, right. Up, left. But yeah, this character art is very cute. Small mode time. Move with... Okay, so we are looking for one fabric.
Yeah, so I originally, like, my whole plan was to do that encircling thing. But honestly, you can just draw a line through the fabric itself instead of encircling it.
You could just... I see.
Yeah, you don't need it. And I sort of think that's sort of, like, better, not gonna lie, after, like, playtesting. I'm like, oh, this is... It's good, like, if you can just easily draw a line through it. Instead of encircling it. I feel like if instead of moving with WASD, if you used the mouse to encircle, and then I should have just focused on drawing lines through it, instead of encircling. I realize this afterwards, but...
Yeah. Devious Oatmeal says I just eventually drew lines through the shapes. It's just like I could play it like it was intended to, but why would I?
I sort of feel like the line tactic, I should have focused more into that instead of encircling.
Yeah, you feel like that would be a better like intentional gameplay decision?
Yeah.
Okay, down, right. Left, left. Did you have any specific like inspirations for the gameplay loop here?
There was a game jam game I played in like my second game jam I did from this year.
Hmm.
It didn't really get high ratings, but I sort of it inspired this where it was just encircling, the thing.
Okay. And then you strip
that
that
was
out.
Yeah, and then I needed the mode switch, and the second mode is just do poses to get points.
Very cute. White brown particles. What does that mean? Left. Did you and your right up, right? Did you and your artists have like jokes or things that you referred to in the game that will not see the light of day because it was just between you? Like, do you have funny names for things? That's the thing that I like asking. It's a little bit rare that it's actually the case, but I like to ask anyway.
Well, me and him are working. Well, we're working on a visual novel also called Uranium Girl. It's about a girl who eats uranium, and she looks pretty much exactly the same as this character. So we just call her Uranium Girl. No,
Nice.
she is not canonically the Uranium Girl. She just looks like a future VN novel character.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. That's the stuff that I like to hear. It's just like, by the way, this girl, she likes uranium. She likes to eat it. She likes to.
The colors for I know what you mean. The firework particles. So when you get the points, you get like a little fireworks particles, and then the points as well, and they're like white brown. I just copied this particles from one of my older Game Jam games, and I haven't updated the colors to fit this color palette. It just goes.
I guess I
that
haven't.
color palette.
I guess I just haven't noticed what you're talking about. Let me figure it out.
Oh, you
Left,
can
right.
actually.
Oh, you mean like the color of the little splash thing?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's what he means. Yeah, that meant to be like fireworks. In my other game, it had like a actual color palette that fit in with.
Okay.
I just didn't have
She
fun.
poops uranium and radium after uranium she fissioned.
That's a good idea.
I see. The world building is coming together. She digested, which causes it to decay. I would hope that her digestive lining is capable of withstanding that.
It's not.
It's not?
Sorry for the spoilers for Uranium Girl, but.
Oh, no.
It's not.
Damn, dude. She works in the fucking like uranium glass factory in the 1940s or something. I don't remember, like 1950s.
Yeah, and she just takes a swig of uranium every now and then behind her boss's back.
Damn.
Basically, the visual novel I'm working on.
Jeez. A decent amount of us, or a decent amount of the devs, have told me they're working on visual novels, which is very cool.
The black blots, they're meant to be feet coming down, like stomping on you.
Because you're small.
Yeah, because you're small. It's meant to be like people walking on the runway. I didn't actually know how to. Well, I rushed it. I didn't know how to do feet correctly.
I mean, that's okay. I figured it out. I feel like I'm doing really bad on the small modes.
The better you do on the small modes, the longer time you get on the big modes, because you get most of your points on the big modes.
Okay. That makes sense. I just, like, if I encircle these, then it's wrong, right? How long do I have in small mode? Also, did you have any technical challenges? Like, is there any code that you said you didn't have any real technical challenges, but like, this is kind of interesting. Like, are you hooking up? Are you making nodes that connect with lines to represent the stitching? And like, how does that do collision detection with the things and like detect what you're doing?
So there's a line. No, there's a line. Just give me a second.
Gotta check notes. Like, how the fuck did I do this again? Is she stitching her wardrobe malfunction on stage? I'm assuming that's what this is. Like, we're preparing for the big stage.
Yeah, I was gonna. The plan was to like have it so you make like the actual clothes that she wears in the big mode, but we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
You're meant to like make specific clothes.
Okay.
How did I do it? I know there's a line. I know there's a line. Sorry, that was the first thing I did in the game jam was the
stitching
drawing
mechanic.
in circle. Yeah.
Makes sense. Fuck. I almost got it, dude. I was too
Sure.
hasty. What is the weirdest itch.io comment you've gotten on this game?
I don't know. Sorry, I gotta look up how I.
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Dude,
so
I clutched that
looking.
one. I continue.
Yeah. So looking at it, I just have a packed vector to array, and then when you're holding down space or the line, but when you're drawing the line, oh yeah, you won. I put in like a. I didn't expect people to get that far, so I put, and you can get infinite points now.
Nice. I mean, hey,
lot of
I like when people do that. Honestly, it's just like, yeah, I can spam this and it has no consequence because it doesn't add to my. It's not like it adds to my my thing, you know, my score. At least I don't think so. But yeah, you're saying that you have vectors.
Yeah, the packed vector to array. When you're holding down left click, it just adds the player position to that vector array, and then it makes. There's a node in Godot called collision polygon 2D. So it's just a collision shape, but with polygons that you can put in a packed vector to array to make a collision shape. You can make a dynamic collision shape by giving it a packed vector to array.
Nice.
So yeah, I use collision polygon. That's what I did. I was just trying to remember.
I kind of understand what you're saying because I've never used the collision, the polygonal one that you just mentioned.
Yeah, I haven't used it before also this time, but now I know about it.
Hell yeah.
Make custom collision shape.
I mean, it is really cool. But this game over screen is funny. You survived in a normal size forever again, Poggers.
Yeah.
Poggerino.
If you get stomped by the foot, you die. You just become a little splot on the ground.
Dang. I gotta find that. I gotta fulfill my fetish here.
The weirdest comment, it's not like weird as in like it's a weird comment, but someone made a comment posting their high score and they didn't die while getting splattered by a foot, and they didn't reach the end because they didn't have the ending message. So I don't know how they got the game over screen.
Wow.
Because those are the only two things I programmed to give you the game over screen.
So they.
Because he got the game over in this part in the big mode, which only happens if you've reached the end, but he didn't reach the end because it didn't have the text.
Wild.
So I don't know.
So there was just like a. Was it a bug?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Frankly, I'm not gonna know.
Damn. How mysterious. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like. Another thing that like I'm neurodivergently fixated on is the idea of like negative context space, which is the name that I call it, but essentially just mysteries you'll never fucking figure out. You know, like, who knows how this happened? I'll never know. And that's just interesting to me. So I do like illuminating these things with fellow developers. Right up. So did you get the music from somewhere, or did you compose it?
Yeah, Core, who did the art, made the music also.
Nice.
He made it on the final day.
Oh, cool. That's also stuff that I like hearing about. Like, what were you doing like right down to the wire? Because it looks like you also submitted yours like maybe an hour or two before the deadline.
Yeah, an hour and a half before the deadline.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I submitted mine with 12 minutes on the clock, so.
Okay.
So like, what were?
They actually extended it
Yeah.
afterwards. And then I did a quick little sneaky update when they extended the time.
Yeah, I think we all did. Apparently, I heard that like 100 games got submitted during that time, so like that was really important, right? A lot of us would not be on the scoreboards. Well, scoreboard, but a lot of us would not be on the board if that extension didn't go down. So what were you working like right down to the wire on?
just things, you know.
Just things.
I think I was fixing the UI. Like, the UI was a bit like sort of worse. I can still like improve the UI a bit, but that's what I was running out of time on
Okay.
doing at the last minute.
Yeah, UI is also a thing that I saved for the very end to figure out, and I was very glad that I did. I was just like, please please come through for me. Shade 11 says, let's say you win, what would your award acceptance speech be? Honestly, like, this game jam does not really have stakes. I think essentially what the reward is going to be is akin to getting a t-shirt, right? And bragging rights, I would imagine. Yeah, like... Yeah, what do you think you would say?
Gamers, I won. I've done it.
I've done it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I play a stock applause sound.
Nice. And then a canned laugh track.
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No stakes, but I want my prime rib. Lamau. Thank you, Devious Oatmeal, for the pun jump scare. Oh man, I'm really fucking this one up. Get over here, you bastard! Damn it. Shit.
Yeah,
Where's
so I said this at the beginning. Like, I was trying to. My original goal was to like have you just do this encircling mechanic. But then after like playtesting myself, I'm like, it's more fun to just draw a line through it. So I sort of wish I focused the like telling people to just draw lines through it instead of encircling, or just saying both are okay. Because people are saying like, oh, I sort of like cheesed it by just drawing lines through it. But I think it's a fun way. I think it's probably. I wish I focused more on that.
You wish that you just told them outright to just draw a line through it, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you plan on like developing this any further after the game jams?
Nah.
Yeah.
Not really. This was made just for the game jam.
Nice.
Still with my friend.
Actually, did you only start doing game jams this year? You said you did 6 of them. Did you?
Yeah.
So you just started this year?
Yeah, I've just started doing game dev this year.
Nice.
At the start of this year.
I mean, this is very impressive. Like,
I've been a dev for a while, but not game dev.
Okay. So do you like work professionally in tech?
No, I was at university.
Okay, university. Nice.
Well, I was doing research for them and teaching at the university.
Oh, that's awesome. So did that like inform your decision to want to be into game dev, or is that something you've just always wanted to do?
I just feel like something cool, creative to do, you know, in my free time.
Nice. Alright, so it's more of like a hobbyist thing for you.
Well, I would like to do it professionally, but...
Okay.
Oh well.
Well, that's the thing, like, one of the cool things about the itch, I guess, like, leaderboards, you could say. I feel weird calling it that. At first I thought it was a little strange that only other developers could, like, rate things, and that there wasn't a public rating system. But to me it makes sense. It's like, what they're essentially telling you and incentivizing you to do is to go out and, like, talk to developers, do rate tradings, form a community, you know? And I thought that was really cool when I thought about it. I probably wouldn't be doing this if that were not the model, right? So part of this has been networking, and just really in any professional industry, networking is incredibly important, right? So talking with people, meeting them, having them in your radar, it's just really valuable. I'm not saying that I'm doing this for like professional reasons or whatever, but it is very cool to be able to be like among your peers, amongst your contemporaries, and kind of keep track of each other, because who knows, like those people could be your the people that help you get into the industry that you'd like. For instance, one of my friends, and I don't know if we're still friends anymore, I hope we are, but one of my friends designed the box art of Tunic, and
Tunic.
Yeah, and I didn't know until I assumed the NDA expired. Top of the Year says, I've already have devs complaining in my comments about bugs in my jam game. I would need the general public doing that too. Good point, Top of the Year, yeah. Well, like if it were publicly open to everybody for voting, like it would just be a popularity contest, right? You'd probably get like streamers or influencers just shooting something out or having a team do it for them, and then the crowd would just come in and run roughshod over it. But about my friend who did the Tunic box art, and I swear I'm not like I'm not trying to like what's the word, like clout chase or whatever, but he did an interview, right? And in the interview, they were kind of asking like, how did you break into the game development industry? Like, how did you get where you are? And he was talking about how like he didn't think that he would, because he wasn't born in the mainland United States. I think he might have been in Puerto Rico. I feel really bad if I'm getting that wrong, because what a thing to get wrong about your friend, right? But he was saying like, how does a kid with no connections in the United States like get into this industry? And literally like he was just on Earthbound forums and just like talking with his friends on those, and later they would become the connections that actually got him into the industry. So really just like any sort of professional development space has its people that you don't know will be the people that give you a leg up, the people that help you. And forming a community is just like not only just super cool for me, but yeah, it comes in places that you don't expect, right? I feel like I was such soapbox there for a bit, but hopefully that input is useful at all.
Yeah.
So I hope you get into the game development industry somehow, some way. But
you can only have a max number of things on the board, so you've got to remove them.
I've got to remove them. Wait, how to remove them?
Click remove.
Oh
right?
shit! I've been totally ignoring one of the mechanics. But that's another thing.
I feel like that part of the UI could have been improved. I wanted to make like actual things, but they're just color X on the board right now with text.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and wait. Oh, I have to right-click them. Is there a specific reason that you have to right-click them? Is it because left-click would have triggered the stitching?
Yeah. Left-click would have triggered the stitching mechanic, and I just needed a separate button,
Okay. Oh man, this is rough. Damn it.
And normally I thought it'd get too hard by now, so which is why I put the like hard cap ending a couple rounds after this.
Okay.
I don't know if I should have just kept it going infinite or be like, oh, she stopped shrinking, she's a normal person now, she lives.
She lives.
I wanted some sort of conclusion,
We live these. Hell yeah. Don't let anybody get you down. Stitch your heart's desires. Oh shit, I fucking... Wait, did I die?
Oh, you died, but it had the you survive. That's weird. But she is dead because she got squashed and stuff.
Right. DV's email says time to cook fish. I shall lurk. Very good.
Yeah, that was my game. Little Stitches.
Oh yeah. Is there any other weird stuff that you want the world to know about your game? The world parentheses maybe a dozen people.
She does not eat. This girl does not eat uranium. She's not the uranium girl.
Damn.
That's a completely different girl.
She's
not the uranium.
I am obliterating this from the record.
Eat uranium.
This will be stricken for the record. I will not have this slander on my girl.
She is a perfectly normal human being who can grow and shrink randomly.
Okay, but
without the help of uranium.
It's just that her name is Uranium Girl.
No, she doesn't poop for him.
I mean, hey, it would be a very useful skill, I think.
Yep.
So it's not like we're making fun of her. It's just like, hey, you just happen to extract a very, very valuable resource. Shade 11 causing problems in the chat. All right.
Other than that, yeah, not much else. Just a little simple game.
Awesome.
2 modes.
Well, it's adorable. The music is great. Very good presentation. I very much like these segments.
No, my favorite. I didn't tell you about if you press escape to go to the menu. Does escape work?
Nice.
My favorite part is clicking on the girl in the menu.
That's your favorite part.
Favorite part of the. That's my favorite part of the game.
It's just like fuck going into the actual game. Like, we got this.
You just keep clicking on her.
She just gets to do this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She does a little wiggle, but she doesn't have alternate.
I feel like you could easily like make a weird story about this where it's just like, oh man, and prom's tomorrow,
Yeah, the story is definitely the most lacking aspect. We just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Spent all the time programming and doing art.
Yeah, hardly anybody has stories. Like, I'm surprised at how few narrative games there are, but it's not really that surprising. Like, most people just made arcade style stuff, right?
Yeah.
Should put an Easter egg where one of the clicks makes her boost plutonium. Damn.
Plutonium.
Yes, plutonium.
Okay.
Alright, well, let me see here. Looks like somebody has pinged me in content sharing. Ozmeister might be able to drop in. Yeah, Ozmeister, if you are still here, and as well as, shoot, which one are you? Can we queue up recommended games? Wait, which dev is this? Is it the Piero? Okay, well, I'll investigate that, but yes, thank you so much. I'm going to highlight this and send it to you. I really need to keep a better spreadsheet of who the fuck I'm talking to, because especially with streamer mode activated, it's hard to like tag the right people.
Yep. I'm kobemano. I make Godot tutorials and whatnot. Thank you if you want those. Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a good
fun.
rest.
Go use Godot. It's the
Yes,
best game.
use Godot. It's very
Bye-bye.
good. See you later.
Have fun.